Hello, Rachel and Mark. This is my craziest dating app story. Years ago, when I was living in Chicago, I matched with this woman. She was obviously from New York, just visiting Chicago. And so I was like, she's not looking for anything serious. And neither was I at the time. So within about 5 messages, she was on her way over.
See what I'm talking about?
Yeah, it
5 messages. She's
it
on the way over.
happens.
She's only in town for the weekend. The classic move. And so, listen,
It obviously happens. It obviously happens. Yeah. I just
happens.
think there's always it's always suspect, I think. There's always
Okay.
some sort of ulterior motive.
Well, let's find out.
Her profile also said that she was in a committed non-monogamous relationship.
Cool.
So she came over and we talked for a while and learned that she was married. Her husband was also apparently in Chicago at the time, but back at the hotel after half an hour, she's like, "So, are we gonna fuck?" And I was like, "Okay." So we go to my bedroom and we proceed to do that. It clearly came across to me that she was not happy in this marriage.
Oh, I wonder how that came about. At what point during shagging this woman
Climax.
do you think, do you know what? I don't think her marriage is going that well,
Well, no, because people are in open marriages as well.
Come on, no, man. I mean, like that is, I don't know, man. That's interesting. This polyamorous thing into it is like,
Yeah.
it's never going to be straightforward, is it? If the people are out shagging other folk,
But
and all
that's what people say is apparently like polyamory should be even more straightforward in the sense of if you're communicating like desire for other people, if you can come up with your boundaries and all that kind of stuff. But,
Absolutely.
But I do think it's funny that it's just like,
I don't think her marriage is going that well.
but I think good on her, right? Because she knows what she wants.
Mm-hmm.
She goes for it. She's just like, she has the confidence in herself. I always have such nerves before dates. She's fucking within 5 messages, just being like, I want to fuck you. Are we going to fuck? And then they fuck. Like,
she
good
knows
on
what
her.
she wants and she goes for it. Strong, independent woman.
Yep. Slay queen.
Okay, well, let's hear what happens next.
And throughout the night, would just be like, ugh, I'm going to leave my husband, John the pharmacist. And I was like...
As opposed to his real name is John the Baptist, but he's this guy's changed it to for anonymity purposes. Just say pharmacist instead of Baptist, because John the Baptist, a lot of people know who that is, and I think he's got a famous cousin or something like that. So John the pharmacist is who the husband is, and she's wanting to leave.
Okay, cool. And the next morning we go to brunch, and I am just so spaced out. I've had hardly any sleep, kind of hungover, and she immediately orders us a round of shots. And I was like, whew, okay.
She seen what she wanted and she went for it. She seen they were doing
I would
shots.
definitely be friends with her. She sounds fun.
Doing shots at brunch.
Yeah. Also, you reacted as if going to brunch was not a normal thing to do. You're like, oh, classic.
I think that's
brunch.
more weird than the coming over after 5 texts. I'm like, all right,
That
okay.
says so much, Mark.
So good to see. It's a bit forward,
I only have breakfast or lunch, fuck's sake.
Brunch is a big step,
Then we order food, and every once in a while she'd just like interrupt and just be like, "Are you gonna kiss me or what?" And I'd be like, "Okay, sure." And it's like a crowded restaurant on a weekend, popular brunch spot, and she's like, "I don't care about anyone else here. Do you?" And before I can even say anything, I just like hesitate, and that was enough. And then she put her head on the bar and started crying and then fell asleep. And I didn't know what to do. And she just like bolts upright suddenly. And she's like, "We need to go. What's going on? I need to get out of here." And I was like, okay, we still need to pay. And she was like, okay, here. And she like whips out a credit card and hands it to me. It has her husband's name on it. And I give the credit card over. And in America, when you do that, you have to like sign the bill when you pay with a credit card. And you can also leave a gratuity on the receipt. And so I just like wrote in a fairly generous gratuity with the forged signature. And then we left.
The joys of a polyamorous relationship there. If you and your wife are in a polyamorous relationship, she will go off and fuck some other guy, take him out to brunch, and then use your credit card to pay for all the food and leave a generous tip for the wait staff.
That's nice, though.
I mean, why everyone isn't polyamorous, I don't know.
Mark. Do you know what? I was so on side with this woman, and then I was thinking, see, as I used to work in a bar, that I was just like, what a fucking nightmare. Like, you know, if someone falls asleep, that you're like, it's illegal to have someone so drunk that they're like falling asleep and you have to like get them out and stuff.
Yeah.
So I'd be like, oh, it's a fucking nightmare.
Yeah. When she starts crying and then falling asleep at the bar, I think that's the point when you kind of go like, okay, maybe I've made a bad choice overall. I don't know how worth it this was. I also may or may not have a husband who wants to kill me. That's cool.